One of the biggest fires burning is the Thomas Fire in Ventura County. Our David Begnaud is there.
Overnight, the winds never really materialized, but at around 10 a.m. local time here in Ventura County, right off the 101 freeway, this brush went up in flames, and we started to see some of the wind gusts that were originally predicted.
By early afternoon, firefighters were attacking every fire that exploded along this oceanside highway, trying to stop the flames before reaching beachfront homes.
We're standing in the southbound lanes, but true to form, when you live in Southern California, people are used to this, so they don't close down the freeway, they just reduce it to one lane as flames more than 100 feet tall rage right now as the wind gusts.
Most residents evacuated, but a few stayed behind and tried to save their homes. The surrounding mountains were thick with smoke. Officials say the air has not reached toxic levels yet, but ash was making it extremely difficult to breathe.
And David Begnaud joins us now from Ojai. David, we've been tracking these dangerous Santa Ana winds as they fuel the flames. What are you seeing and feeling, and when could conditions die down?
Look, the winds have died down right now. In fact, as I look around, you don't see much in the way of leaves blowing or trees blowing. That fire right there had been burning at a pretty good clip for the last hour. Crews were brought in. They are still here kind of mopping up building containment lines. As you pan around and we look now as the sun starts to set over the Ojai Valley, it cannot be overstated how poor the air quality is. It's not actually at what officials would consider a toxic level, but regardless of what official scale there is, let me tell you, you talk to anybody who's here right now and they will tell you it is hard to breathe. I mean, you don't keep this mask on for, let's say, 5 minutes and you feel like you've eaten some dirt. As we look now in the distance past the barbed wire, there's a helicopter that's coming in right now, appears to have a bucket that's full of water. The good news is, despite the poor visibility, and let me tell you something, it is really bad in this area, they are still able to keep these helicopters in the air. And they've been flying them, we've been in this area for probably the last hour, and they have been flying these helicopters solid for the last hour, doing water drops in spots where the fire was continuing to kind of hopscotch. And following up on what Jeff Glore was reporting in terms of embers flying, Elaine, today I was told there's a phrase, it's ember storm. What happens is when there's a big fire and the winds come in, the embers blow in their own little storm of sorts, right? And then that can start another fire 2, 3, maybe 4 miles down the road. Hard to believe, but we watched it happen this morning. But to go back to your original question about the winds, not much right now. And for the most part, they predicted 80-mile-per-hour gusts in some areas. That would be on the high side. We have not seen any of that. Most of what we saw today was 20, 30 miles an hour, but that was plenty problematic enough.
Yeah, and tell us, David, about the emergency response. I imagine it has just been nonstop for those first responders.
Well, look, I mean, you have guys, these are CAL FIRE employees, but you have firefighters who have come from Beverly Hills, who've come from Northern California, all over Southern California. Southern California does this very well, for that matter, California. The state does this very well. They are well prepared. So when fires happen, crews will come from the northern part of the state down to the southern part of the state and then be ready to mobilize from here. You've got that fire that's burning at this hour in San Diego. And so some crews and resources will be pulled from there. So you have a lot of firefighters all over the place. It's kind of a ghost town because most people have evacuated, all of Ojai. But a lot of firefighters working around the clock.
All right, David Begnaud for us. David, thank you.
You bet.